yesterday we went and we took Gatsby to the vet, and I just thought maybe I should share my tips as part of the adventure of Gatsby with you guys. Right now Gatsby's just whining. He sees a couple of the dogs in the park he wants to go play with. One thing that I want to stress everyone to have a great vet visit is take the time to let your dog get comfortable with being touched. So right now you see I'm not really high up in a chair. I'm not sitting on the ground with him. I've kind of found like a medium ground step here. What I'm going to do is I'm just kind of work myself through and just let Gatsby get used to being touched, right? So right now we're just kind of work on his head, kind of go down his body, go through all of his limbs, right? Just let him get used to having them touched and played with. Good boy, Gatsby. Gatsby lets you play. Just tell him he's a good boy. Be like, yeah, he's a good boy, right? This is not only great for the vets, this is also going to be good when it comes time for grooming, whether you're grooming him yourself or whether you're going to take him to go get groomed. Spend a couple days and just touch him. Just take your time. You don't have to be too rough. And then if your dog's not really like Gatsby, not just willing to let you touch him and get comfortable with it, just go slow. Take your time. And then eventually you can build up where you can take a look at his ears and kind of tug him a bit. You're not really trying to hurt him. You're not pulling away, but you want to be able to open him up, take a look inside as a vet would do, right? Take these steps, take the time. That's going to make it a heck of a lot easier. Yesterday when we left the vet's office, both the vet and the technicians told me how wonderful he was, how nice it was for them to be able to check him, do the examination without him freaking out, barking. He didn't need a muzzle. They weren't concerned about him biting. He was just relaxed. Another big tip I have for you when you're going to take him to the vet or take him to the dog groomers is take him for a walk. Take him for a half-hour walk. Take him for an hour walk. Calm him down. Relax him, get rid of a lot of that energy so that it makes it easier for whoever's going to be working with him, whether you take him to the vet, so it's easier for them to take it, especially if he's got to take needles or if he's going to have anything like a sword looked at, something might not be comfortable. If he doesn't have energy to fight back, it makes it a little easier for them to take a look at it. I think that is kind of the big tips here. So Gatsby, he's all up to date on his vaccinations. He did his heartworm, his flea, his tick stuff. The vet has approved start wearing a backpack, so we'll eventually do a sizing video. We'll figure out how to size him up for a backpack. That's going to be the same for when he has the life jackets for the canoe. Hopefully within the next couple weeks, I'm going to slowly transition him into doing jogs and long runs and get him out there. The vet did say he's a bit lean. He's not underweight. He's just a lean dog. But if I am going to be backpack training him, and if I am going to be taking him for runs and jogs, he will put on some muscle mass, and he's going to get a fair amount bigger. Right now, she weighed him in at 18.8 kilograms for anyone who's interested. He did have his heartworm test come back. The heartworm tick test came back. He tested positive for a tick disease that's uncommon in Ontario. So the good news is he's still safe to be around other people. He's still safe to be around other dogs. The only way this disease can be passed is if a tick bites him and then bites another person or dog. So Gatsby's going to be on a flea and tick preventative for life. He's going to do it 12 months where most dogs would maybe do it 6 months. He's going for more blood work just to make sure that it's not active. We don't believe it's active. Some of the signs of this disease is that he'd be a little lethargic, he wouldn't be eating, he'd be tired, he'd just be bleeding for no reasons. Oh, come here. And so all in all, they believe that because Gatsby was from Egypt and he's flown into Canada here, that was just part of the course, that he must have had this disease. Once you have it once with a dog, you're always going to test positive. But the difference is it's kind of a dormant disease, right? So we'll check every year, we'll do blood work for him, we'll make sure that it's not active, make sure that we don't have any persisting problems. And if there is, we see a vet. And the vet's going to help us out with the prescription, make sure everything's good. All right, guys. One last thing before I forget. A couple people did ask me who the dog trainer was that I was referring to in my last video. His name's Sean McDaniel. I'm from Canada. I'm in Ontario here. I was not able to find a local dog trainer to help us out when it came to Gatsby barking at other dogs. And just like that, barking at other dogs right on cue. So I spoke to Sean McDaniel. I've been listening to his podcast, so if you take a look, I'll leave a link in the description below. It's The Dog's Way. He's got about 90 some odd podcasts right now. He talks about different training tips. I reached out to him and I said, hey man, I'm having trouble. Gatsby got bit. All of a sudden now he's barking at other dogs when he's on the leash. And Sean, not only did he spend his own time to reply to my email, he gave me his personal cell phone number and he told me to call him. I spoke to him for twice now for about an hour each time. And he said, yeah, anytime I have any questions, comments, concerns, to reach out to him. He also has an online training course that Gatsby and I are going to be downloading and getting ready to work through that. Take a look for it, guys. It's what we're going to be working on, and we're going to bring some of his tips as well as my experience to you guys, and you'll see just through us how good Sean McDaniel's training is. If you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns, Gatsby wants to get going. He's whining. I think he wants to go find another dog to play with. So, again, I'm Gregory. This is Gatsby. Thanks for coming along for the Adventures of Gatsby.